Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, my dear learners. Welcome to English Grade 7 video lecture series. I'm your instructor, Zia Hamid. My dear learners, today we are going to talk about and we are going to start our unit number 11 for grade 7. Its title is A Day Well Spent. Yes, my dear learners, a day well spent, it's a very beautiful lesson. I hope that you have already read it and learned good and valuable lessons from it. Now let's talk about the theme of the chapter. In this introductory lecture, I will be introducing you with the chapter, its overall theme, and also all the different SLOs that we will be covering throughout this lecture series of our Unit 11. The theme that we are going to talk about, and the whole lesson is based upon the theme of peaceful coexistence or peace education. Now, this theme is all about promoting peace and having a very good society, ideal society, so that we become tolerant, we become peaceful with our friends, our class fellows, and other members in our life. Now, the sub-theme here is willingness to learn about others' way of life, experiences, and viewpoints. Students, we need to understand that people have different point of views, different understandings, they have different lives. So we need to understand their perspectives, their life, and their ideas, and also learn from them so that we can live peacefully. A day well spent teaches you so much more about peace education and living peacefully, and educate you to become peaceful members of the society. Now, let's talk about the theme overview. Let's understand it and see that after learning about the theme, after having this overview, you will understand the lesson even better. Now, a day well spent, this lesson specifically focuses on peaceful coexistence, which means existing and living together peacefully, and peace education. The theme promotes willingness to learn about others' way of life, experiences, others' viewpoints, through a narrative about a community gathering where everybody gathered around. The lesson encourages you to have mutual respect and cultural understanding of different cultures and the importance of embracing diversity for peaceful coexistence. Now, students, we know there are different cultures, we have different provinces, people are from different backgrounds, they have different histories, so they are different than us. We need to understand that they are not at all different. We can live together, we can exist together peacefully without any fights, without any verbal fights or physical fights. So you can learn a lot from this lesson. Now let's talk about our lectures. Lecture number 1 is going to be about the SLO of identifying and constructing. What are we going to identify and construct or write? Sentences with a comparison clause. For example, I eat more than you do. We know what a clause is. So this part, than you do, is a subordinating clause with a comparative word than. So that's why this clause is called comparative clause or comparison clause. And also we are going to learn relative clause. For example, he is looking for the bag which he has lost. Now, he is looking for the bag is independent clause, but which he has lost. This part of the sentence, this is also a clause, but it is a dependent clause having the word which. We know relative pronouns, which, who, whom, etc. So we have the word which over here. This makes it a relative clause. Yes. So these two things are very much clear from the lesson. Now we will see how we can identify and make sentences with comparative and relative clauses. In the next lecture, students, you must be ready for that, because we are going to distinguish and write 4 types of sentences. Yes, we know sentences are of different types. We have been learning it from the previous classes. They are declarative, exclamatory, interrogative, and imperative, right? These are the 4 types of sentences. Yes, we are going to see how they are different, how we can create all these different sentences. Next lecture is going to be about your identification of phrases. We are going to identify a group of words which we call a phrase through different keywords, the important words that we are going to highlight and learn from. Second SLO here is use dictionary or the thesaurus to choose appropriate word definition. Yes, we are going to have these resource materials, so you must get your dictionary or thesaurus, which one is available to you, and then we are going to practice it. So must bring your dictionaries before the class and on lecture number 3. Now for the next lecture we are going to talk about the SLO, recognize and rectify faulty punctuation. Yes, in given passages and own work. Students, we have learned over and again about punctuations, full stop, comma, exclamation mark, question mark, and all these different kinds of punctuation marks. Now we are going to practice it. We are going to identify and proofread passages and correct the punctuation mistakes. We are going to identify and then rectify the faulty punctuation. It's going to be a very interesting lecture, and you will practice your punctuation cues and punctuation age. In the next lecture, we are going to identify the writer's purpose and what makes it interesting. Why did the writer write that? Why did he write that text or poem or any kind of passage? What is the purpose behind that? We are going to see how we can recognize every writer's purpose for everything which we read. Next one is read and view a variety of reading age appropriate and high interest books. And in that SLO, we are going to focus on personal recounts, personal writings that you write in your journals and diaries. So diary entries and also biographies or autobiographies. We will see that how we can sketch somebody's life and make it into a biography. All right, in the next lecture, this is about your oral communication. We will learn how to speak confidently using complex vocabulary and longer sentences to fulfill different purposes. So be ready for the oral lecture. We will learn about interesting things and enhance our oral communication. So be prepared for this lecture. And next one is about the writing competency, where we will write a paragraph of free writing for fluency, creativity, brainstorming, or pleasure. This is a very interesting writing activity which we call free writing, and you can practice this. I'll teach you how to do that. Write multi-syllabic words, words that have multiple syllables. How do we write these words? With correct spelling, using spelling rules and strategies, making analogies from familiar words. We are going to see and recall what a syllable is, what are multisyllabic words, how do we understand their spellings, how do we spell them, and how do we actually pronounce them as well. All right, my dear learners, this is the introduction lecture. This was all about the different lectures that we will cover in different forms of SLOs. I'm looking forward to it. I hope that you're also very excited. Thank you so much for listening to this introductory video. I'll see you in the next video lesson. Till then, be prepared, take care of yourselves, and Allah Hafiz.